Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Academic Writing Amplified podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Mazak, and I've got a good one for you today. So today I'm going to talk to you about a new concept that I introduced inside of my Navigate program when I taught it live in May. And this is a concept that I developed as part of my quest to really figure out why projects get stuck. Why do writing projects get stuck? So last week on the podcast, if you haven't heard last week's episode, it was also a new concept that I developed from this same question, and it is called transition friction, and that was last week. This week, we are talking about zombie projects. All right, zombie projects is not a term that I coined. It comes from the world of management and project management and stuff like that, but I've never used it before, and I don't think that I haven't found evidence of people using it to refer to academic papers. So, I think it's a good fit, and I think it will resonate with you. So first, I want to say when I'm teaching you these things and telling you these concepts, I am hoping to kind of make something click in your brain that's going to help you when you're thinking about your projects, right? But also, I just want you to know that in Navigate, which is enrolling now, Navigate is enrolling now. If any of these concepts resonate with you and you would if you're like, well, I'd really love to solve transition friction, actually, or I would really like to know more about the different categories, zombie projects is one of them, of papers in my pipeline, then you're going to want to sign up for Navigate, because I teach in there. That's where I really tell you because it's not I was going to say it's not straightforward. It is straightforward, but it's not easy to solve these problems, especially zombie projects, which I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, so in Navigate, this kind of new concept, some of the new curriculum is around labeling the projects in your pipeline in order to help you decide how to work on multiple projects at once. And because that's something we always do, right? We're always working on multiple projects at once, and we're kind of always working on multiple writing projects at once as well. So I have 3-4 labels. One of them is zombie projects. But this is the one that I think I need to get up on the soapbox about. Because listen, it was not easy to convince people in Navigate this summer what they should do with zombie projects. And that's why I think it's this is why you need a program and not just a podcast episode, because it might take a little work to really wrap your head around how you're supposed to treat these projects in order to stop them from clogging up your pipeline. So a zombie project, as the kind of metaphor suggests, right, is like a project that is dead, right? It's alive in the way that a zombie is alive. It's alive in your mind. It is not really actively alive, okay? And these are projects this can happen to projects for so many different reasons. I'll give you a bunch of them. Okay, a zombie project is something that you have already put effort into. You have it's like a paper idea. Maybe the data is collected. Maybe you did a first draft, and maybe you even submitted it, and the feedback you got meant that you were going to have to go back and collect a lot more data. Or you kind of realized, wow, this is going to need a lot more effort than I thought, but not in an exciting way. Okay, so it is possible to be this is going to need a lot more effort than I thought, and I'm so excited to do it. Is possible, right? It maybe has happened to you. But zombie projects aren't like that. you might, like, again, in this example where you have to go back and maybe reanalyze or recollect data, at somewhere in that process, like, you just kind of give up on it and it just stays there, not moving forward at all. And you kind of know inside that the project is dead, but you keep thinking that you're going to be able to, like, resuscitate it and make it be alive again. So that's one example. Other examples might be even things that maybe you've been holding on to from your dissertation, and now that's been a really long time ago, or maybe not even your dissertation, maybe just a study that you did 10 years ago, and you're still holding on to it kind of mentally as if it's alive, but it is really dead, and you're not going to realistically put more effort into it. Now, the reason that zombie projects are dangerous is because we think that we're going to get back to them. We think, like, they're still holding this mental space. Remember in last week's episode, if you listen to the transition friction episode, I talked so much about, like, how it's in your how you think about your projects is really affecting so much how quickly they get submitted or how they move through their development. So if you have, I don't know, many of you have 5, 10, 15, 20 projects, writing projects in your mind, and they're all there inside there, and you have ideas about them. And if your constant recurring idea is like, yeah, I think I could get back to that, but with dread, then that's a zombie project. And that's what we're going to label those projects. So probably when I said zombie projects, you immediately knew what I was talking about. So I want you to think about those projects, because now I'm going to tell you what you need to do with those projects. And what you need to do with those projects is bury them. You need to not pursue them. And this is hard to hear, right? Because I think that we're always thinking, like, we could go back, we could make it work, and all of that. And what I'm telling you is that is stopping your other projects from getting out. Now, in Navigate, again, in these categories of projects where I ask people to look at their pipelines and put things into categories, like, there is a category for stuff that you're not working on right now, but that you'll get back to. That's not what zombie projects are. Zombie projects are projects that are really dead, and they're just, you're keeping them alive in your mind, but they're doing the zombie walk in your brain because they are not alive and they won't ever be alive again. So I remember teaching this concept, and in the live Navigate I did in May, and people loved it. People were like, oh my gosh, zombie projects, yes. And then when we talked about the other categories and what to do about the other categories, and I introduced, like, my way of teaching, like, how to think about your pipeline and how to work on multiple projects at once and all of that, like, I got a lot of positive feedback, and I still got the question, what do I do about the zombie projects? I'm like, nothing. You kill them. They're done. You let them go. You bless and release them. You say, thank you, zombie, for having, helped me develop as a scholar. And now I am never going to think about you again. Like, you actively kill those projects. You can have a folder on your computer that says zombie projects do not resuscitate if it is impossible for you to, like, delete it, which I understand. But really, like, it's a matter of mentally letting go of the project. Now, the reason that we have zombie projects is because we are operating in scarcity. Okay? So there's the this is something really ingrained in us as academics, is like operating from this, like there's never enough. There's never enough money. There's never enough time. And there's never enough publications. Right? And this is messaging that we get over and over again. It starts when we're grad students, or even before, if we're even that we could be hearing it since we're undergraduate researchers. But really, this like never enough time, never enough money, never enough publications is like the default setting in academia. So what happens is we hold on to everything that could like possibly be a publication, even though we kind of logically know that that's not true. And the danger of that, first of all, like one, just like something to keep in mind always, is that when you are operating from scarcity, when you're operating from this place of like, I need more, I never have enough, you don't make good decisions. And what happens is your pipeline gets clogged, you flit around from project to project, and you never finish anything. And and it's from this fear, because you're like being fear driven, scarcity driven. On the other hand, if you develop a mindset of abundance, you start telling yourself things like, I published this many things last year and that is enough. I will publish this many things this year and that is enough. I always hit my publication goals. Like things like that. Maybe you're not ready to say I always hit my publication goals yet, but like really start like bridge thoughts towards those more powerful thoughts. Then you can you will be able to make much better decisions about your work, about your time, and about how you kind of invest energy moving projects through your pipeline. So that's why it's really important to be able to identify zombie projects, is because you need to get them out of there. They are vestiges of scarcity mindset, and they will never be publications. They're not good enough for that, or maybe it's a project that you had a co-author on and you had a falling out, or you just both have gone in really different directions, and maybe it would have been a great project, but it's just like, no, it's fine. You know what? That can just be gone. And what that does is it frees you up mentally to move the projects you should be moving through your pipeline. And what I mean by moving through your pipeline is, I mean project managing them, scheduling them, honoring the schedule that you kept, and submitting things for publication, which is exactly what I teach you how to do in the Navigate program. So if you are interested in learning more about zombie projects, about the other categories of projects in your pipeline and how to deal with those, then I encourage you to go to my webpage about Navigate. It's scholarsvoice.org/navigate, and find the program description and see if this is a program for you. Now, on August 10th, I'm going to be doing a fall writing planning session, and you can register for that workshop at the link that's in the description. It's going to be like a good 90-minute workshop all about how to plan your writing for the fall so that you can sustain writing through the semester. If you're interested in how I teach, if you ever wanted to interact with me live and kind of feel the experience of being in a room with a lot of academics thinking about these writing and publication problems, then I really encourage you to come to the fall writing planning session. I think I call it workshop, fall writing planning workshop on August 10th. If you register, I'll send you a replay. So if you can't make it live, It's totally fine. Just go ahead and register to make sure that you are the first ones to get the replay. Now, if you're interested in Navigate, right now I am accepting applications for the program. The program starts the first Friday in September. And, well, before that, actually, because the first module drops the first Monday in September. And then actually, I'm getting my dates wrong. It's the first week, the one that is like, I think it's the end of August, beginning of September week. That's when it starts. The first meeting is the first Friday in September. And the last meeting is the Friday before Thanksgiving in the U.S. The program meeting time is at noon Eastern. And all of the meetings that are coaching calls are recorded. And so even if you can't make the calls live, you can watch the recordings. And so I would love, to have you apply for the program. I read every single application individually, and you can find out more about that again at scholarsvoice.org/navigate. It's a program to help you publish your backlog of papers. So if you're a professor, a postdoc, a researcher, even, we've had people in kind of more unique situations, like we've had people at the CDC in the U.S., the Center for Disease Control have been in the program. We've had people in nonprofits, in think tanks, like they're the minority, but they come there. So if anything I'm saying resonates with you, then please consider checking out the program and applying. I'm going to be talking more about it on the podcast, but I wanted to do these 2 episodes, the transition friction and the zombie projects episode, so that you can get a little taste of some of the changes that have come to the curriculum of Navigate because of the awesome Navigate Intensive that was so much fun to deliver live that I did in May. So anyway, I hope you come to the fall writing planning session, totally free, on August 10th. Just find the link to sign up in the show notes, and I will see you there. Bye.